Hey there, my absolute favorite internet friends and fellow wealth builders. Many people always ask me about the real hidden secret to making big money in your 20s. I tell them the absolute cold, hard truth every single time, but honestly, nobody wants to believe me. They want a magic trick or some secret volatile stock option or a golden corporate ladder to climb. But today, we need to sit down and have a serious deep chat because the corporate myth is officially dead. Look at what is happening over at Meta and across all of Silicon Valley right now at this exact moment. They just reduced their entire workforce headcount by 22% in another massive wave of layoffs. We are seeing people who literally exceeded expectations for 4 straight years get dumped via a cold email. One day, you are a rockstar product manager taking TikTok videos of your fancy office coffee and free snacks. The next day, your corporate keycard is completely deactivated, and you are staring at a blank computer screen. It is honestly one of the most dystopian things I have ever seen in my entire life on the internet. And yet so many smart young people are still completely fast asleep at the wheel of their own careers. They think if they just work harder and attend more endless alignment meetings, they will be totally safe. Let me drop some heavy truth on you right now that might taste like some seriously sour medicine. Your single corporate job is actually the highest risk investment you will ever make in your entire life. Think about the basic mathematical foundation of diversification, which is the first ultimate rule of wealth. You would never put 100% of your investment capital into one single highly volatile stock. Yet you happily put 100% of your income potential into one single fragile employer. You are letting one single middle manager or one stressed-out chief executive officer decide your entire future. When the board of directors decides they need to make the quarterly balance sheet look pretty for Wall Street, your hard work and salary is not an asset to them. It is just a cost that needs to be immediately eliminated. I watched that viral video of the 2 tech product managers explaining their daily luxury routine. They said they spend their entire days helping engineers stay on track and driving vague business outcomes. They laughed about working from home and sitting in endless corporate alignment meetings all day long. But guess what? The guys at the very top of the food chain are realizing those problems did not even exist. One tech chief executive officer openly admitted he fired his entire human resources team and things got better. The corporate fluff is completely melting away, and reality is hitting hard like a freezing morning shower. Every single unneeded meeting you attend is just a tragic waste of your precious finite life on this planet. We absolutely need to talk about the concept of life cost because everything has a hidden psychological price tag. When you trade 40 hours of your week for a steady paycheck, you are trading your literal human life. If you make $50 an hour but spend $40 of it maintaining a superficial corporate look, buying incredibly expensive office clothes and eating premium lunches just to feel like a high-flying professional, you are barely breaking even on the actual energy and time you are putting into the corporate machine. Every single unneeded luxury purchase you make is a worker you just fired from your own personal team. Instead of that dollar working hard for you in the broad market, you threw it away for temporary social status. I want you to imagine your savings as a massive, dedicated team of tiny employees working for your freedom. When you save money and invest wisely, you are hiring dedicated soldiers who work 24 hours a week. But when you buy fancy things to impress people, you do not even you fire those valuable soldiers. The girl in the viral video said she felt totally happy and completely free after getting laid off by Meta. She realized she was never meant to build someone else's grand dream while completely ignoring her own. That is a truly beautiful sentiment. But let us look at the cold hard math behind that emotional freedom. If you do not have a robust financial runway built on automation and extreme lifestyle minimalism, that temporary feeling of freedom will quickly turn into deep anxiety when the monthly rent is due. You absolutely cannot just rely on good vibes and internet optimism in a high interest rate world. You need a bulletproof system that does not care about corporate reorganizations or macroeconomic shifts. My entire personal investment strategy is built on being incredibly boring and highly predictable. I absolutely despise high management fees and active day trading and fake financial gurus who promise wealth. The broad market index funds do not care about your job title or whether you wear a suit to work. They just compound quietly in the background while you sleep or while you get unexpectedly laid off. If you have a solid 3-year runway of index investments, you do not have to panic when the corporate axe falls. You can look at your computer screen and realize you are totally fine for the next 36 months. That is what true professional freedom looks like. Not a fancy title at a venture capital-backed startup. We have been deeply conditioned by society to believe that corporate status equals personal human value. We wear our extreme busyness like a badge of honor and brag about how late we stayed online last night. But the system does not love you back, and it never will, because it is just a cold corporate algorithm. The exact moment the macro numbers do not add up, you are just a line item to be deleted by a manager. So stop playing their rigged game by their rules and start creating your own personal monopoly today. Keep your daily living expenses shockingly low so your survival financial number is incredibly easy to hit. When you need less money to live comfortably, you suddenly gain massive leverage over all future employers. You can easily say no to the toxic projects and the endless meetings that drain your creative soul. You can focus your extra human energy on building tangible assets that you actually own completely, whether that is an artificial intelligence fashion startup or a simple diversified digital portfolio. The ultimate goal is to own the underlying equity instead of just renting out your precious limited hours. Stop trying to look incredibly rich to your coworkers who are also one email away from total unemployment. Focus your mind on becoming truly wealthy in the dark, where nobody is watching or loudly applauding. The mathematical equation of wealth is simple, but the psychology of resisting social pressure is very hard. It takes massive guts to step off the hamster wheel and admit the corporate dream is a giant trap. But once you see the financial matrix for what it really is, you can never go back to sleep. Start building your parallel economic fortress today, dollar by dollar and hour by hour without delay. Do not wait for the next automated email notification to tell you that your role has been eliminated. Eliminate your financial dependency on them before they ever get the chance to eliminate your position. That is the single only way to win a game that was rigged against your freedom from the very beginning. Let us do some more realistic calculations on why people get completely trapped in this lifestyle loop. Think about a person making $100,000 a year in a high-cost living area like San Francisco. On paper, that sounds like an incredible amount of money to anyone living outside of the tech bubble. But after the government takes 30% or more in various taxes, you are left with $70,000. Then you pay $3,000 a month for a tiny apartment just to be close to the tech campus. That is another $36,000 gone from your pocket before you even buy a single grocery item. Now you are left with $34,000 for the entire year to actually live your life. Then you factor in the high cost of transportation and the pressure to go to expensive weekend brunches. You buy a premium coffee every morning for $7 because everyone else on your team does it. You lease a brand new electric vehicle for $700 a month because you want to look successful. By the end of the 12 months, you have saved maybe $5,000 if you are lucky. That means you spent an entire year of your life working 9 to 5 just to save $5,000. If that company lays you off tomorrow with a standard 2-week severance package, you are in immediate danger. Your entire life structure collapses because your savings can only cover your high expenses for 1 month. This is what I call the golden handcuffs. But the reality is the handcuffs are not even made of real gold. They are made of cheap plastic and spray, painted to look shiny, so you do not try to escape the cage. I want you to contrast that exact scenario with someone who decides to live an intentionally boring life. Imagine making $60,000 a year but choosing to live in a low-cost area and working remotely. You split a modest house with a good friend, so your rent is only $800 a month. You drive a 10-year-old reliable sedan that is completely paid off and costs almost nothing to maintain. You cook your own delicious meals at home and view grocery shopping as a fun creative challenge. Your total annual living expenses come out to $24,000 for the entire year. After taxes, you are able to save and invest $20,000 every single year into the market. In 5 years, the first person has $25,000 saved, and a mountain of lifestyle inflation. The second person has over $100,000 compounding in low-cost index funds, who actually has more freedom and power when the economy takes a sudden turn for the worse. The second person can walk away from a toxic boss at any moment without feeling a single ounce of fear. They have bought back their own time and their own peace of mind, which is the ultimate luxury asset. The modern corporate world wants you to stay hungry and broke, so you never stop running on the wheel. They want you to buy the big house with the 30-year mortgage, so you are locked into the system. They want you to have high monthly payments, so you will sit through those 6-hour alignment meetings. They want you to be too exhausted after work to build your own side projects, or think clearly. But when you look at the math, you realize that true wealth is not about how much money you gross. True wealth is strictly defined by the gap between your income and your basic human lifestyle desires. If you can widen that gap as much as possible in your early 20s, you win the game of life early. You do not need to wait until you are 65 years old to finally enjoy your freedom and time. You can enjoy your freedom right now by refusing to participate in the competitive consumption game. I remember when I first started investing my own money a few years ago in my early 20s, all of my friends were buying premium designer clothes and going to expensive music festivals every weekend. They looked at me like I was completely crazy because I was putting my extra money into index funds. They said I was missing out on my youth and that I should live in the moment and spend my cash. But I knew the mathematical reality of compound interest over a 20-year time horizon. Every single dollar I invested at age 22 was worth $10 in future purchasing power. So when I looked at a $100 pair of designer shoes, I did not see a $100 price tag. I saw a $1,000 bill being stolen from my future self just to look cool for one afternoon. Once you start viewing every single consumer purchase through the lens of future compound value, your relationship with material possessions changes permanently, and you become completely immune to ads. You realize that the billionaires selling you these products are using the money to buy their own freedom, while you are using your hard-earned money to buy their products, and stay completely locked in place. It is a massive wealth transfer from the middle class to the ultra wealthy happening every second, and the most hilarious part is that we willingly participate in it because of social media algorithms. We see an influencer on TikTok showing off their luxury lifestyle and we instantly want to copy them. We do not see the massive credit card debt or the lease payments hiding behind the short video clip. We just see the shiny surface and assume that they have everything completely figured out in life. Do not fall for the digital illusion, because it is designed to keep you consuming until you die. Look at the tech industry layoffs as a beautiful wake-up call to reassess your personal strategy. It is the ultimate proof that no matter how hard you work, you are always replaceable to a corporation. The only entity that will ever truly look out for your financial best interest is you yourself. So take control of your asset allocation and your daily spending habits with absolute discipline. Build a financial foundation that is so rock solid that a 22% layoff wave feels like nothing. You want to be in a position where you can read that corporate email and just smile and close your laptop, knowing that your tiny army of dollar soldiers is out there fighting for you every single minute. That is the level of financial independence that I want every single person watching this to achieve. It does not happen overnight, and it certainly does not happen by chasing hype or crypto scams. It happens by making the boring, correct financial decision 10,000 times in a row without stopping, by being patient when everyone else is panicking, and being minimalist when everyone else is wasting. The rewards of this boring path are absolutely spectacular, but you have to be willing to look uncool first. You have to be totally fine with your friends thinking you are a bit weird for saving so much money, because in 10 years they will still be complaining about their bosses while you own your time completely. Let us make a pact today to stop giving our personal power away to giant corporate logos. Start investing in your own sovereign future right now. After you finish watching this video, the math is fully on your side and the psychology is something you can master with daily practice. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today in this digital corner of the internet. If this message resonated with your soul, make sure to share it with a friend who needs a wake-up call. Stay boring, stay patient. Peace.